Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. We are so happy to welcome Becky Maston from Dress a Child today. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Educate me. I am learning all about Dress a Child. What is this about? What are you doing?
Okay. Dress a Child is a volunteer organization started in 1970 by Beverly Hamilton. In the year 1970, we actually served 95 children. That was the beginning of our program, and it was at the time associated with Church Women United in Tuscarawas County. We have since become our own 501c3 and our own entity. In essence, what we do is collect money from our community, business, churches, individuals. We pool that money, divide it among the number of children that we have registered for our program, and then we take them shopping for new school clothing.
And they get to pick them out? It's not that somebody buys clothes and donates them. They get to actually go school clothes shopping.
That is absolutely correct. We have certain, I want to say, restrictions that we put on the clothing they buy. We want to make sure that it's appropriate for each school, as each school has its own requirements for how the children dress. But yes, indeed, they do go shopping.
Are there still dress codes?
There are still dress codes. Yes, there are. No spaghetti straps and, not however short or long above the knee and those kinds of things. Yes.
Okay, I'm thinking back to the 70s when this started.
I'm with you.
And
Okay.
you think of ways that we got around those dress codes. Do you remember those?
I do. Yes. Yeah, I certainly do.
Well, it's good to know that there still are those, because now that I'm a mom, I'm totally enforcing them and in favor of them. Totally different perspective about it than when you're, a 14-year-old
And
girl.
you're the one trying to break the rules.
Yes,
I
and you're
understand
rolling up
that.
the skirts and everything. Yes, how we did all of that. How many children did you say you dressed back in 1970?
95.
Not that you were involved in 1970, but
95
they started
children.
with 95. And today, how many?
Last year we dressed 1,348 children.
My goodness. And this is all in Tuscarawas County.
That is correct.
You know what I love about this, Becky, is that this is our community serving those in our community. And so these are our friends and neighbors that we're giving to.
That's absolutely correct. And it's remarkable to us because, like I said, we work on donations. And obviously most of those come from Tuscarawas County, but every program year we get donations from as far away as California or Montana.
Really?
And we're assuming that it's people who had once been associated with Tuscarawas County or have family members here and know of the program. But it's fascinating to us that is the case.
I think it's very cool because I really am hearing about it for the first time, and yet you've been around since over 40 years. Well, my math is very bad, but this is like close to 50 years, right?
Correct.
I mean, if it's 70 and we're in 2018,
Right.
darn near 50 years
Yes, that
of
is
doing this. So you have young people who have since grown up and their children and then their grandchildren, and maybe they were recipients and now they would love to be givers. Do you find that happening at all?
I cannot say that I personally have had that part of the experience, but we have had people who have come who are now parents or grandparents and have let us know that they were recipients in earlier days, and that's very gratifying to hear.
Yeah. What does it mean to a child to be able to go pick out some new clothes, start the year fresh, reinvent yourself? Maybe you had a little rough time in third grade, but this is fourth grade now. When you get to start over, it's a clean slate. What does that mean psychologically to a child?
Well, obviously, we've not done studies on our own program to know that,
Sure.
but we do see the excitement that the children express when they bring their clothing finds up to our register and we get them checked out. And so they are very excited, and we do think it's important that any child that we can help can have that thrill of going to school in their first new day's clothing, brand new. Here we go. Like you said, a fresh start for a new year.
Do you get a whole wardrobe for each of them, or do they get something for first day, or what is it?
How it works is, as I said, we get our donations in. That's collected into a pool, strictly divided by the number of children we have registered for the program. So that becomes a voucher. And then when we take the children shopping, that voucher amount is determined by those two factors, the number of dollars we have and the number of children we have. So For example, last year our voucher amount was about, I think, $50. That does not buy very much in today's world. But we have had years where our voucher was approaching $100. And that will buy several new outfits of clothing. So it depends on how our program goes for the year. And, as with our economy, it goes up and down.
Do you shop in the locally owned stores? Do you keep it in town that way as well and benefit merchants here? Because my mind is going, you could do pretty well online, even with $50. But we also want to support the Tuscarawas County merchants at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are both good thoughts. We do indeed shop locally. Sadly, we're down to 2 shopping sites. We will shop at Walmart and we will shop at Kohl's. In the past, we have shopped in some of our other Tuscarawas County locations where we do registration sites. But those places are no longer open. So 2 places right now. But it is important to us to shop locally, absolutely. The places where we shop are very generous. They bring in staff to help with the days where we shop. They offer special sales for us.
Nice.
So we're happy to work with them to make the program get the most bang for the buck.
Do some of the children get to shop together at the same time, or are they paired with someone from Dressed Child? Do parents go along? Who all is involved on what does a shopping day look like?
Okay, shopping day looks like we come in and set up our tables at whatever site the store has designated for us to be at. People come in, the children who are getting the clothing voucher have to be present to do the shopping. So they will come with a grandparent or a parent. Typically, it's not any other. It might be an aunt every once in a while, but the children do have to be present there. Then the family person will take the child shopping. They'll bring their purchases back up to our registration table. We will check through to make sure that things are truly appropriate, make sure that they have use the funds they have available or help them to finish out whatever dollars may be left that they could use. And then we take them up to the register, get them checked out, and they go on their way. The process probably takes maybe 20 minutes, maybe 25, 30 minutes if a child is kind of a picky buyer. but it's usually fairly efficient after all of these years. And we move people in and out. We actually help people select shopping times, so that we know, for example, we have 10 people coming through in 1 hour's time that we can facilitate that process, get them in and out as quickly as possible.
How long have you been involved with it?
I am not 100% sure, but we moved back to Dover in 1989. Mrs. Hamilton, who began the program, was associated with my father-in-law, and she took me under her wing and decided that I should be part of this program. So it's been a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you enjoy most about it?
I have to say the most enjoyable thing is seeing the excitement on the kids' faces when they get their purchases. And then on occasion, I have talked mostly about buying clothing in this process, but if a child's family has expressed a big desire or need for a pair of shoes or perhaps a heavy winter coat,
yes,
maybe a backpack that they can't afford, those kinds of things, we will take those things into consideration. And then there's really some wow factor if we do like the backpack or a new pair of shoes that has flashy lights on it or something like that.
I'm trying to think of the styles in 1989 when you first would have been getting involved with it, and then like what is trending now. You really get to keep up with things, don't you? As you are, a lot of us graduate out of school shopping, yes, but you get to keep involved.
Well, these children and my 4 grandchildren help with that process. That's very true.
It is different, isn't it? Seeing a child get to buy something they want rather than only what they have to have.
It is.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
This program, because of the way the registrations work, the people that we serve meet the federal poverty guidelines. So there is much what they need to have involved in this process. So the biggest thing is something with a little pizzazz on it, maybe some sparklies on the jeans or whatever it may be. That's fun stuff. Yeah.
I think there are so many programs that have free clothing, but again, it's been picked out for you. This allows a child to go in and go shopping. Can you talk about the importance of that a child gets to go choose their own, something that they like, try stuff on, and just have that day. That day we all remember is so fun.
Yeah, I think it's like it is for any of us. You perhaps dream about, well, if I could really have, again, back to that pair of jeans with the little rhinestones on them or whatever it is. It's like Christmas morning. You see the sparkle in the kids' eyes, and hey, it makes it all worth it.
What do you remember about back-to-school shopping for yourself? For me, I'm going to tell you, shoes. It was all about the shoes.
Well, in my day, I think that's exactly correct, but my mom was a sewer, so it was very rare that I got new clothing for school. I mean, it was new perhaps, but it was homemade. So yes, for me it was the shoes, or if there was that occasion when I got to get a pair of pants. In my day, we still wore pantsuits or skirts.
Yes.
So there were no jeans to be purchased.
Oh, no, that's right. That's right.
So, yeah.
And pantsuits, that took an act of Congress, as I remember. It actually took, because the skirts at that time, boy, am I going to date myself here, were so short. But honestly, it wasn't a moral question. That was the way the skirts were made. They were short. And so there were people who were coming to school after standing at the bus stop for a long time out there, coming to school with frostbitten legs. And so we got to pass some kind of a thing to the dress code to amend it to allow pantsuits, and that was a big, big day. Am I talking beyond your time, going way back further than you?
You are not, but our school system had gone the other direction. We didn't do mini skirts, I believe, until perhaps my senior year, but my dad vetoed that whole thing, so it was a mood issue in my house.
I got it.
It was either pant skirts or pantsuits or skirts down to my knees.
Oh, my goodness. I remember having to have them measured and all of that stuff. So this back-to-school shopping is just bringing back all kinds of wonderful nostalgia for me. And plus, I raised boys. So back-to-school shopping was over in seconds. They really were not. Do you see a difference between boys and girls taking advantage of this program?
Oh, absolutely. Now, while the boys are really excited if it is the backpack or the pair of tennis shoes that they would really like to have, the whole clothing thing is they could mostly take it or
whatever.
leave it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The girls are the giddy little selves. Yeah.
It's so much fun. All right. So, want to review everything, but I'm looking at the clock. We're going to take a short break here, but we're talking with Becky Maston. She's with Dress a Child, getting kids all ready, thinking about back to school, and we need your help to get them ready, to get them shopping. We'll be back with Becky after these words. You're listening to Our Community.